Okay, so after we've replaced the seals, I've already put these back on there because it was dripping a little bit. I didn't tighten them all down, but I wanted to hold the seal in place. If this sits too long, what will actually happen is there's an outer ring that can slide out and the oil can drain out. I did have that ring slide out and I dumped a little oil, so I had to clean that up. So you just got to be careful. Working backwards on it doesn't help. But again, on these heads, there's two different sides. You'll see there's a small side and a large side. The large side is going to be the inlet side, because what's going to happen is you're going to take your check valve, and this is the new check valve. We're going to put it inside of there. All right, if I try to put it in this side, you can see it doesn't go in far enough, and that would be bad. So we put it in like that. The direction of flow, fluid comes in. We set our O-ring in there. Okay. We set it in place on the top. We put our bolts on. And what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to snug them down with the impact. I'm not actually tightening it up because I want to make sure I get it torqued properly. So I'm just going to kind of get it seated. All right. Then I'm going to take my torque wrench, and the manifold bolts are torqued to, the head bolts are torqued to 20 foot-pounds. So I'm going to set my torque wrench to 20 foot-pounds. And then I'm going to tighten them down in a crisscross pattern to kind of get it even. Okay, now to set the check valves into the outlet side, we take our check valve kit. I put the check valve in place to kind of hold it in. There's a little groove it sits in. I'm going to put my O-ring in, push that in with my finger so it's in place. And then I'm going to do that for each of the 3 check valves. Now there's no difference between the inlet and outlet check valves, just the position. And again, we want to remember the direction of flow to make sure that we put them in there correctly. Okay, now from this point, I'm going to take my triangle piece off the end. I'm going to carefully set it on here, making sure I don't put knock the O-rings out of place. It pops right in there. We're going to set our triangle piece in place, and again, you see the little spacers that are on there. So, and then what that does is that gives it the correct distance off the head of the pump so that you don't over torque it. This stainless piece that's laser cut to fit here also gives the head of the pump some stability so that when this is under pressure you don't have issues with flexing and cracking and bending. And this is one of the many improvements Udor has made over the years to the equipment. So you can see this isn't the same pump that they made 15 years ago. It's a lot more durable and updated. Udor is actually very good about making sure that their stuff is kept up to date. They're not afraid of making changes to their equipment. So now you see that this drops in, and what that does, that helps keep everything together. There's no flex, there's no stretch, it won't separate because they have these holes cut in and these guide pins built into the plastic part of the head there to maintain the integrity and the structure so that under load we don't have problems, because again, this is all poly, so we don't want to end up having issues with separation or breaking or cracking or issues like that. So you can also see on the end here, it shows that the head is torqued to 20 foot-pounds and the manifolds are torqued to 10 foot-pounds. So we'll repeat this procedure. So we already have the check valves on the other side. We'll repeat the procedure on the other side, put the bolts back in, tighten it down, torque it to the specifications, and put the inlet and outlet back on, and we'll be all set and complete with our rebuild.